How many calories and protein do you think is in each one of those things? And some of the things that we were talking about that, you know, when I sent out the email on Friday about, or not Friday, I can't remember, but just when I wanted you to look at, I want you to look and find the calories that are in whatever you ate. It doesn't matter what you ate. If you ate pizza, or you had grits, and so that you know how much is in that for how much you ate. So if you had a 4-ounce pour of red wine, or did you have a 750 milliliter bottle, which is sometimes, I understand, that's my serving. There's no judgment in that. I just want you to be cognizant of what and how many calories is in that, and how much sugar or whatever is in that. So it's really just for you. And if anything, and I had one person came or gave me some feedback. You know, she turned her thing in late, but she didn't. She said, "I'm gonna turn it in because I want you to know that I did recognize some of my things that I was eating. I was really shocked." And I feel like she's a huge winner in just that she had an aha moment, a light bulb moment, that it all went off, and she was like, "Yep, there it is." And I recognize where things might be more than what I was thinking it was. And that's really all that we want for y'all. So you just have that one little thing. So because most of us, we underestimate what we eat and we overestimate what we do. And as the society, I mean, we're getting a big cultural thing, but we eat too much. All of us eat too much for the amount of what we do. We don't have to work for our food anymore, so we just put too much in and we sit a whole lot. And it's unfortunate that that's what we do, but it is what it is. And that's why you have to be really aware of what it is that you're eating and what you're putting in, and how many calories or how much sugar, which then leads me to my next one. So I'm gonna try to go fast for y'all. This one I don't have a copy for you, but I'm gonna email it to you. So I'm gonna let y'all pass these around. How much fun is this, right? So I'm gonna I'll let you start with this one. Now these are all based on soda and tea, like Coke.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I want you to feel the weight of this. That's a sweet tea. This is a 1 liter. Just 1 liter. Not even know how heavy that is.
I don't drink anything but water, so.
Well, this for anybody that does, or anybody that,
How do people drink this at all? I mean, I take a sip of my husband's Pepsi like once every 6 months, and I'm like,
yeah. So this is how much sugar. Now this is
oh, man, that's a bottle of Coke.
that's only a 1 liter. 108 grams in a 1 liter.
Oh,
So you can imagine
yeah.
double that in a 2 liter. So say you sit down to watch the
Wow.
game last night and you slug down a 2 liter without even noticing. You just drink it up.
I have one of those for wine.
Yeah, I don't. But
I don't do the tea in the Coke. but the wine.
yes, I know, and I do. But again, like I said in that email, is it worth it? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's just what you needed. That was the therapy that you needed that day.
Oh, McDonald's sweet tea.
So McDonald's sweet tea. Now I've been seeing this one on some of the journals, and just think about, now you can make your sweet tea at home.
Yeah.
You can have all the tea you want.
On that one.
That's when you add the sugar in it. That's when it makes it better. So just the weight of it alone. So now that was on, the one of them was just on 1 can of Coke. So you can imagine, who drinks just one? Nobody. So you have maybe 1 or 2 at lunch. I know my mom lives on about a 6-pack a day. A 6-pack of Dr. Pepper.
Wow.
That's what she lives on. And you know, sugar's what feeds cancer. Sugar is the devil. It is absolutely the devil. And I want to break it down for you real. I'm not going to give you any kind of scientific anything. I've got nothing science for you. I'm just telling you this equation of you feed your body with crap, you're going to get crap out. And that's just really all it boils down to. So think about that next time you think you want to drink your calories, of how much sugar is in that. So sugar, your body, that raw sugar right there, your body just goes, whoop, I know exactly what to do with that. Hold on. And puts it right there. Because if you're sitting at a desk, you're not working. Your body does not need that energy right then. Your brain might, but your body doesn't. So it's going to store it. So say maybe you have a Coke just to keep you going all day long. Or let's just say, like that's probably my husband, one of those is probably my husband's coffee for his sugar for his coffee. I was like, oh, I can't even watch. But think about that. You know, people don't realize that because they're drinking it. So those kind of calories can get lost in the shuffle and you don't even count them. So think about what you're eating or you're drinking in the morning, in the afternoon, a little pick-me-up, even let's say a Red Bull. You know, Red Bull is the devil too. Don't worry about that. It's not good for you at all of that. Those things are going to give you a heart attack. You know, my husband won't touch him now, and he went down from a heart attack when he's only 45. But my point of that is, if you're going to drink a regular Red Bull, you're looking at just as much calories in that, and just it's all from sugar. So that's a little bit scary. And so I was going to tell you real quick. So that 12-ounce can, 39 grams of sugar, equals about 140 calories. That little can, just sugar. Then 240 in the 20-ounce, and then 400 in the 1 liter. So if you did 1 can of soda, just one of the 12-ounce can, every day for a whole year, you would have had 14,235 grams of sugar. Boy, I don't even have a thing that big for that. I don't have that much sugar. I've been buying a lot of sugar. So that was going to equal 51,100 calories, which puts about a 15-pound gain. So when they say people who, or even if your friends or partner, whoever you joined up with, if you know somebody that's drinking soda, they could for sure drop 20 pounds as soon as they stop that. Because it is just empty nothingness. Okay, so let's see, what did I do? Okay, that's perfect. Let's talk real quick about our little test we just did. Throw out some numbers for the salad, the chicken apple,
I
and,
said 350 calories, 10 grams of protein.
okay, what do you think?
I think
I
my
did
coach.
280 and 4 grams.
I didn't do protein, but 670
Okay.
for chicken tenders and the dressing. Yeah, I put 200 on calories.
Okay.
I went 800 and 3 grams.
Okay, well, you two are the closest. 700 calories in that salad.
Wow, I wanna eat
41 grams of fat, 54 carbs. Now this is as served, 37 grams of sugar and 28 grams of protein. But you're gonna get, from a meat, you're gonna get more protein like that. So, do you see, this is what I'm saying. When you're
That's
looking
amazing.
at that,
Yeah.
you think, salad, that's good for me. It must be low in calories. Not so much.
So yeah,
Apple and
700.
cranberry.
Yes, 700 calories. And that's, you know, the ones from Burger King are not huge, so they're not like a chili salad, you know. Let's go to the next one. What do you think?
Calories, I put 250 and protein 15.
310 and 2.
3 cents. You must have eaten one of those before. What did you say?
I went way over. I was like 1,200 because I saw that croissant and I know how good those are.
Oh, yeah, those are really good.
Yeah, because they got carbs.
1,000,
I said 600 calories.
600. Well, that's funny. Y'all all overshot that one, except this one right here, 310. So 310.
Wow.
It's not too bad.
Wow, I got it like round.
Yeah.
I said 250.
15 grams fat. Here's the kicker on this one. 1,030 grams of sodium.
Sodium. Yeah.
Wow.
26 carbs, 5 grams of sugar, 17 grams of protein.
Ooh,
So it actually does have a really good amount of protein, but
Oh, 'cause- oh.
not a real good choice.
Absolutely not. That sodium. Oh.
Yeah. And then that salad that before that was 1090 grams in that sodium. And that. Okay, so what's the next one? This one we have actually had on our, I don't even remember who it was, but a Chick-fil-A tuna salad.
I got 300 calories, 20 grams of protein. The only reason I gave that one more is because I remember it was up there. When I went to Chick-fil-A, I remember getting it. It's more than that, though. It's more because of the chicken, so.
Which
I'm all
I
close
did
on that.
440 per calorie.
400.
My
Only
calorie.
1,500.
1,500? Woo, you're way outshot.
That's the cheap place I was.
600.
600? Well, it's close. It's 500 calories, 20 grams of fat, 12 grams of sugar, and that's probably all in the bread, in the mango, and 28 grams of protein. Yeah. All right, so now this is gonna be like a no-brainer. What do you think for the pizza? This is just one slice. You know, in Anthony's Pizza, any one slice is more like, it's like 2 normal slices.
Your sugar ones? I don't know, pizza. 200 calories.
What do you think?
I did 210. I would have.
Yeah, the same, you've been on the
Say
same.
300.
300?
Well, I went higher than that.
What'd you say?
There's no wrong answer.
Oh, I put 2,000.
2,000? If you had the whole pizza. Which I've done before. This I don't want you to think that I've done it. I can put it away. What'd you think?
600.
600? It's all over the page there with that 481 for one slice, 21 grams fat, 50 carbs, and 24 grams protein.
How many?
So-
grams?
How much?
21?
Protein 24.
24.
14,
Sorry.
24.
All right, so my picture sucks on this last one, but Taco Bell. So you're starving, you think, okay, I'm gonna run to Taco Bell, I'm gonna get something from there.
458 grams of protein.
458 grams protein?
Yep.
I had 460.
What is it? Me and you are so vibing.
What?
450.
450?
800.
800?
It's funny. we're-
Y'all trying to fill me out, is this right?
800?
I put 13.
1,300? Yeah, it is 490,
Ah.
19 grams of fat, 1,280 in sodium,
Yeah.
49 grams of carbs, 29 grams protein. So
Right.
just with this one in particular, do you know what's wrong with that bowl? What makes it that way?
The rice. There's rice in it.
It's one thing.
And let's see what else is in there. The beans are okay. Guacamole is in there.
But that's a good fat.
What else is in there?
Chips? Sour cream?
I can't remember what's in
There are,
There's black beans.
yeah, all those things are good for you. What makes
What
it
else?
so is the rice.
Everything's right.
And the, they put an aioli ranch or something, aioli ranch.
Oh.
Yeah, something
okay.
that tastes really yummy.
Yeah.
And their guac that they put on it, you can ask for regular guac, is like a dressing.
Oh, that's right. It's like
Oh, okay.
ranch guacamole
So,
or something
yeah.
weird.
So it's something that, so those are the things, but you know, honestly, I mean, I like this thing. I eat this all the time, but I don't get it with rice, and I don't get it with any of the dressings. Basically, you have some lettuce and some tomatoes and some chicken. It's not the best chicken in the whole wide world, but if you're in a pinch, that's how you can make it better. But it is one of those things, one time I forgot to not, you can't even see it. It's like
Yeah, I've seen it
stealth
before.
mode.
I've seen it.
I mean, so what I'm saying is you think, gosh, and I was like, so nothing. Yeah, it is. It's big time. Okay, so now this one gets a lot of people. So what do you think for this one? For the 20 ounce, and 20 ounces, they're small. This is strawberry gladiator. Gladiators are their lowest calorie smoothie that they have. So what do you think for that one?
I said 400 calories.
400?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
760.
I have no idea.
470.
400. Now, are y'all shooting high on that one because you know that smoothies are the devil? Or
Yeah. I do. Yeah. Actually,
Um,
the roll told us that.
Okay, so well, this is something also that is they're allowed to do this, and it's confusing to people. This is where people get stuck in a trap. You go down there, you look down the line, and you're looking at the calorie count. These come up 180 for a 20-ounce drink, and you go 180. It's a perfect size snack for me. It's protein. It's everything I need right now. What 2 fruits would you like, ma'am?
Give me some
Oh,
sugar.
get me some. I want some strawberries and I want pineapple. Well, now I've just shot my 180 up to 365. Straight up sugar. Because of all their fruits that they have are sitting in sugar water. Now, whether or not they use, you know, Truvia or whatever their turbinado, it's just another word for sugar, and or honey. or any of those things, that's why they taste so yummy. If something tastes that good, it's probably not something that is just calorie-free. I don't know if y'all remember, but we used to have a shake place that was over at the gym, over at the Abbott Hall.
Oh,
Y'all remember
yeah,
that
I
place?
remember that.
And I would see people coming, you know, they would go to my class and then they would go, you know, work hard, and then they would go grab one of those on the way out for their lunch because they didn't have time. And it was just so, I mean, I never wanted to say anything, but come on now, really? So some of those things were over 2,000 calories because, have you ever heard of Island Oasis?
Yeah.
Well, yes, it's all made with natural fruit. But that is the same thing that you would go to Harry T's and they would make you a strawberry daiquiri with. Same exact stuff, comes in the same cartons. So all they did to it was take the alcohol out and put protein in. They were delicious. So a little vodka in that was a perfect drink. So what I'm saying is you have to be mindful. Just because it says healthy doesn't mean it is. It doesn't mean that in small quantities that it's awful. Everything in moderation. And just remember that we always overestimate what we do and we underestimate what we eat. So we like to round down when we're plugging our food journal in and then round up when we're doing our workouts. So with that being said, everything that you, like when you are thinking about what you work out, if you're going to be real honest about what you do in a day, and you put everything down because no one else sees it. I'm not seeing it, no one else is seeing. This is just you. You and this piece of paper of what you're going to put down. You do that for a week or so. I think I was telling you about how to do that before, because really the only way to lose weight is to have a deficit in what you were doing. So those numbers that you saw on, you know, like your coma, living in the coma, I don't know if I weighed one of you in, that's what you would, that's the number that you need to, if you were going to be hooked up, if you got in a car wreck or something and they put you in the hospital and you were in a coma, they would hook you up and feed you that many calories to keep your body where it is, just to sustain life, to keep all of your functions going. For a lot of you, it was not something, you weren't obviously not living at that. It's hard to live in that deficit of not eating the things that you want, or you know, having to work that much harder. And that's the thing, is that none of us are doing, I mean, myself included. I know I'm not going to go and run on that treadmill until I see it say 1,000. So if I took in an extra 1,000 calories, then that has nowhere to go, because I overfilled my tank. So if you look at it in those kind of terms of what you're doing, because this, I mean, the thing we're doing this for this program, even if it doesn't do for you, you know, not like the Biggest Loser or something, and you know, you lose 500 pounds, and if that doesn't happen, that doesn't mean that it's not a good start to get you on the track to wellness, to eating better, and not necessarily substituting with junk or things that they may, you know, the package looks pretty and it says healthy on it, and I want to eat that. But those aren't the things that are going to help you. So trying to get this behavior in a way that you just have to be a little suspect of things that might say something. All right, so this next one,
You
we're
want
going
me
to,
to ask you?
yeah.
What was the protein on that Smoothie King?
On the Smoothie King, the protein was 45 grams. So let's say you want to go get one of those, because those are still really good. And you want to go, the way you can help cut some of those calories in, because as women, we cannot absorb 45 grams protein in one setting. So we can only do about 20 to 25 maybe. Everything else is just washing out. It's no value to us. So with that, you cut that in half. Say, I only want 1 scoop of protein, please. So now you've dropped that 180, because that's where the calories are coming from, down in half. So that's one thing. You can also tell them, because this is what they do. They go, whoop, scoop, and then they scoop it again of your next flavor. So if you want to put everything in your 1 scoop. If you're going to pick 2 fruits, put everything in your 1 scoop. And that's how you can make it. And that's going to cut those calories in half. The the other thing I don't wanna, like, if you were somebody, I'm just using this as an example, I know it's probably not y'all, I know you would never do this. But if you were somebody that had, you drove through, and I'll use my aunt as an example, this is what she does, still does it. Every morning she drives through McDonald's for her large Diet Coke. Then at lunch she drives through Burger King for her large Dr. Pepper because Diet doesn't really taste that good. And then for a snack maybe in the afternoon, she'll go to Sonic or something. And I've tried to tell her, like, if you would just stop doing that. But now, if she would take that and she cut it down to she just let herself have one, it's still not great, but we're making progress. That's moving on. So I don't want y'all to feel bad if you don't feel like, well, you didn't do it, or, like you were saying, like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed, I don't even want to put that down. That means you're aware. That means you understand and you know what it is. So when you're looking at it, don't beat yourself up. So if you've done great that whole week, saddle your horse and get back on it in the morning, And that's what don't do that, whatever, I just screwed it all up, I'm gonna go buck wild, I'm gonna eat whatever I want, because you will feel instantly awful. And that's a mental and a physical torture that you're doing to yourself. It's not very nice. Don't be mean to yourself. All right, so I wanted to show you real quick. Everybody pull this thing out. It says, when I lost all my excuses, I found all of my results. Because everybody has a, yeah, but, oh, I feel some excuses coming on. There are no excuses. You can do something. You can do something in your office. You could do something before you go to bed. You could do something in your bedroom. You could do something, even as much as every 15, 20 minutes. I know it's kind of a mental, it breaks up your mental concentration, but if you can get up and go get a drink somewhere and walk back, physically get yourself up and walk, and then walk back. They're finding more and more studies that just that movement alone is what will put you, keeping your calorie burn higher than someone who just sits. They're more and more, they're coming. You can Google it all you want. It's called NEAT. It's an acronym, N-E-A-T. So you can Google that up and see about what there is, the non-exercise working out that you're doing. Because when you just sit, now they're going as far as to say that now, say you just go work out and you kill it. You're a rock star in that class, and then you go home and you kick back and watch TV for 4 hours. I'm right here, I do this. I have done it, I do it, I'm tired. It does happen. But when you're trying to lose weight, you need to keep yourself going. You need to keep yourself up, or even if you do, make sure you get up to go change the channel. That's that movement, because they said it negates your workout you just did. And that's when I was like, oh! When I heard that, I was like, oh, that's me. So, put this on your refrigerator so that you have to look, somewhere that you will look at it every single day, put that on there. All right, next thing, grab this one. On your sheet, it doesn't have all the writing on it. Mine just, because I'm blind and I can't see. I know. So when you go back, when you get your magnifying glass, because that's what I had to do. I tried to make it bigger for you. I circled for us, for what we have around here, locally. Some of these places we don't have. And these are things that you just, when you decide, I'm going to go to Five Guys, you're just going to go do it. And I completely agree. If you have decided that that's where you want to go, then do it and enjoy it and just know that you did it. Then you hop back on the next day. Because doing it and beating yourself up about it does nobody any favors. So, but this is one of the things on there that I was thinking. So Quiznos, I think we had one, then it went out, and then I think we have one again now. So on there, it says large tuna melt, which you would think, that's good, it's good for me, maybe it's got a little mayonnaise in it or whatever. 2,090 calories.
Wow.
So these things you're thinking, guaranteed somebody's gonna get, if I was getting a tuna salad, I would only get that thinking it was gonna be better for me than, say, a double Whopper or something, right? So that's showing you how that's so not true. We also have on here the Five Guys. So disappointing, but it is what it is. Five Guys burger and large French fry, 1,464 calories. Right?
I really thought it was
Sodium.
more than that.
Isn't
I-
their sodium way off?
Oh,
the
yeah,
chart?
yeah. Well, I think any of these things are way off of, but really, if you're thinking about it, like some of, I mean, and me as well, I should be at about 1,500 calories. I just spent my entire day's calorie count in one meal. And not even a good choice. I know these are super duper yummy, but Dairy Queen's large chocolate chip cookie dough blizzard, $13.20. And those are good. These are some of these things, I hear a lot of people tell me sometimes that, well, I have kids and I have to, I have to kind of do this stuff. Well, for your kids, think about why, if it's bad for you, it is really bad for them. They're just able to burn it off faster. They're more resilient than we are. So that's what I hear from a lot of, especially young mommies that have kids. Well, my kids want it, or I have to keep it in the house because the kids want it. Nobody should be eating it. If you're going to have stuff like that in your house, you're just setting yourself up for disaster. There'll be late nights, there'll be things, you have no idea what your day is going to be like, and you just go, I'm just doing it. I mean, I've had days like that. Everybody's had days like that. Don't beat yourself up about days like that. It just happens. Keeping it out of your reach, and I am here to tell you that I would say I was pretty weak when it comes to that. It cannot be in my house. I can't have beer in my house because it must be cleaned up. Do you know what I'm saying? You cannot keep it in my, I have a problem. So what I'm saying is, if we know your weaknesses, know what you can't have around you, then on that day that you want to go, it's been 4 weeks since you've had wine, go out and get you a six-pack or do whatever, get your bottle of wine, if that's what you want to do, but not as a behavioral gift to yourself. That's just letting you, if you want to pay yourself, give yourself a treat for losing weight, go get a massage, go get a facial, go get your hair did, go get your nails done, buy some clothes. Don't reward yourself with food. Now, if it's something though that you feel like you've done well and you want to keep in, it's not going to be an issue for you, then let yourself have something. That's why I don't keep it in the house, because I know if I get in the car and actually get out of my house, I must really, really have wanted it. Because that's how I decide I'm not going to beat myself up for that one, because I'm really lazy. Yeah, I won't go. All right, so the last thing, get your piece of thing out for a food. Or do you have one that has a picture of a girl holding 5 pounds of fat?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that looks really nasty, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, and it is.
That's 5 pounds. She's holding it with 2 hands. It's bigger than her waist. So when you get disappointed, you think, I only lost a pound. It's really not a big deal, but it is a big deal. A pound is a fifth of that. That's a lot of weight. So you've got to keep it with your train going. You have to think right about it, that this is a journey. This is a marathon. It is not a sprint. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. And when you decide that you have made the choice that you are not going to allow anything to get in your way, that's when it's going to happen for you. You get, so-and-so was mean to me today, so I just had some pudding. I had a snack. Those are things, those are one of those excuses that you're telling yourself. And I'm empathizing with you because I have them myself. I do them, well, they shouldn't have brought it. That's their fault, it's not my fault. It's you, you're the one that's doing it. If I could control and do everything for y'all, I'd wrap you up in cellophane and keep you tucked away like a little cocoon and make sure, I feed you intravenously and make it happen for you. I would do it for myself. It just doesn't. It has to take some willpower. And once you start seeing some results and start seeing things go down, that's going to inspire you to continue on that path. So, let's move on to the next thing. This is another one, just back to those food. This is my favorite thing. I have a funny story about this, because before when I was kind of mean, and like when I first started training, and I was all out there, right? I can't wait, I'm gonna change the world with this. Then I realized I got real, it's just like that Love's commercial. My second baby and I got real. It's not gonna happen. I can't change you, you have to change you. But Chili's is my favorite place in the whole wide world. Best chips and salsa ever. I used to be able to like put down trays and trays of it. So good. Then I started doing this fitness stuff, and that was probably about 15 years ago. Then I got real and decided that's a lot. But I love to go out to eat. Love it, love it, love it. I hate to cook. Hate it. Because things I like to cook that are gonna taste good are gonna be good for me. So I thought, meh, I don't want to. So I had to figure out ways to go out to eat and make it worth my while. And to not feel like I was getting cheated, and to feel like I was still getting something. So, number one, this is a picture of Chili's Quesadilla Explosion Salad. Isn't it pretty? It's so pretty. It's ginormous. And it is literally that big. And it comes in piled like this. It is so good. This salad, anybody want to guess how many calories?
You're asking for what calories?
Yeah,
Carbs.
calories.
Yeah. There's gotta be a lot in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's gotta be at least 1,700.
yeah. Anybody else? Any other guesses? Everybody's like, no, I don't want to.
What are you gonna
I think it's over a 1,000.
1430.
Wow!
1430, and I'll tell you why. It has 2 dressings.
Oh,
It has chips. It has a whole quesadilla cut up in triangles. So you're thinking, because you're looking at this, and it really, honestly, I mean, those little chips look small. You can barely see that dressing. So you're thinking, what in the world is causing all that? So what do you do then? So I love this salad. It's my favorite salad. I've never ever eaten it like this, ever. Whenever I get a salad, no, honestly, if I had a pill that I could pop before I ate, I would not choose to eat any salad, ever. Salad is not where I would go. My go-to would be something fat and nasty, and it would be so good. That's where I would live. And all chips and salsa and all the buffalo wings and all kind of junk like that. That's what I would eat every day if it would just make me look better. But I've decided, in my world, that does not work out for me. Because mentally, I can't take it. I have to feel better. But I'm just saying, so you know that this is real, this happens. I mean, everybody feels this way. Everybody wants to eat junk, which sometimes you just can't. So the way you can make this salad better for you is ask them to do not put any of those little crisps on there. I don't want any of those crisps. They're really only an nth. And for me, originally, when I first started, I can do it now, but I had to tell them, don't bring out those. I don't even want to see those quesadillas. I don't even want them on my plate. This doesn't come with croutons because it's got those little crispy things on it. And tell them, do not put any dressing on at all. And I have sent it back. You messed this up. I am not eating it right now. So no dressing at all. So that's 2 dressings down. That's where you're getting your big onion, right? But here, I'm going to tell you how to make it better. They have the best salsa in the world. Now the salsa does have sugar, and it does, but it has nothing compared to
yeah.
this. I dump an entire bowl of salsa on top of it. It's so yummy. Then I get my salsa, and because I like to have, I have a couple of chips with my salsa. I drink it. I love it. And pour that on there. Ask for your cheese on the side, because I don't think it should not have cheese at all, so that you can sprinkle it on. And then you get a little taste. But now you've just taken this 1430 calorie salad. It's still big. You have, it's about 6 ounces of chicken, grilled chicken on there. And those, they have good chicken. So it's a little bit more than women should probably eat, but for per serving, but you may not even be able to finish it on that. And that's how you can make this salad work for you. There's just about anything that they make in a place, you can ask for done a certain way. They love SEMOs. I'm like, when Harry met Sally, when Sally's ordering, and she orders it like weird, all different ways. But you're paying a lot of money for this food. It is your food. So ask for it this way you don't ever have to see it come out like this. And then you try to pick out what, you're just gonna eat it. I would eat it. Don't, it's like putting that temptation there for you. Okay. Then, let's go to this last quiz. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, this will be the last one. Real quick, run through this, and all I want you to do is put an X over the higher calorie count. The higher sugar count. This is all about sugar. This is not calories, this is sugar. What has more sugar? Put a big X on what has more sugar.
What is that next to the sample?
That
Dippin'
is,
Dots?
yes, Dippin' Dots. It's Dippin' Dots, yeah. And this is, by no means am I promoting or saying that either one of these is better than the other. Just off glance, what do you think?
Just the first page?
No, the whole thing. Just go with the whole thing, because then we'll run through it real quick.
So is this, what is the, it's next to the cheesecake?
Those are craisins. You know, craisins, I think they come from Ocean Spray, I think.
Sugar.
But sometimes you're faced with these things to choose.
Where's that one next to Pete?
So the peep,
Is that sauce?
that is Prego traditional sauce. And that salad on that last one is the Caribbean salad at Chili's.
Let's try one of those.
I know. I'm sorry.
What's next to it? A cupcake?
It's a cupcake. Mhm.
Salad.
And the one above that is
I don't know what's in that salad though, so I can't follow the sugar on it.
it's the Caribbean salad from Chili's.
Right, I don't know what that
It's got some fruit like mango and stuff on it. All right, got them? Okay, so what did you pick? Apple juice or Coke? Apple juice, Coke. 30, well, we know now, 39 grams in Coke, and the apple juice is 49. So what I love about this is what people give their kids. I mean, Coke is bad for you on so many levels, but this is, when you're looking at sugar count, they're opting water would be the best bet. I know they go, ooh, I don't want water. That is all I've ever given my kids, and they used to hate me. But I didn't give them soda, not even because of the sugar. I gave them soda because it's the carbonation that leaches the calcium out of your blood, out of your body, especially for women. So I figured if you're gonna disease your body, like they're not allowed to get tattoos until they are buying their own mortgage, they're not allowed to disease their body until they're buying their own mortgage. That's the way I felt about it. So there's one thing that I knew that I could help with, and people forget a lot of times mama and daddy are the ones that control the house, not the kids. You get confused sometimes. It happens. All right, so the next one, and that is the healthy breakfast from McDonald's. The oatmeal and fruit.
I love that. You're gonna tell me that's worse. I know you are.
Actually, I think it is, yeah, it is. I didn't know that that's what that was.
Versus the Snickers.
Yeah, I just thought it was fruit, but if that's the one from McDonald's, that one is way better.
That one has 32 grams of sugar, and the Snickers has 27.
Yeah.
Stop it.
And so right now, what we're looking at is just sugar content. We know the Snickers does not have a lot of value at all. This has got, I mean, I don't know what, but you could make that at home and put it together, make you a pot of oatmeal yourself, and add it. They add so many things.
Oh,
Sugar.
Good.
to make you, it's that opiate response, so that you go, whew, I'm gonna get this next time. All right, the next one, this is pecan crusted salad and chilies.
That molten lava cake.
Chilies, and no,
Oh, brown.
it's a Dairy Queen brownie. So which one do you think?
Yeah.
That salad has 64 grams of sugar and the brownie has 57. Now, that salad is humongous and the brownie is small, but in perspective of how much sugar, and that's the dressing. Even if you got it the way with it's crusted on there, with the pecan crusted, and left off the dressing, you're gonna save yourself. I know, the dressing is so good, I like to stick my finger in the ranch. But, okay, so the next one, what do you think? Raisin Bran versus Fruit Loops.
I think Raisin Bran, because the raisins and high sugar.
18 grams in a bowl of Raisin Bran and only 10 in Fruit Loops. It's okay, give it to your kids. It is because of the raisins. They are sugar coated. That's what makes it taste
I
good.
don't believe it.
I decided I didn't like raisins enough to eat that. Okay, so this is tea, Snapple tea versus Dippin' Dots.
I think it's.
I think it's tea.
Yeah, no, it's not a big difference. Oh, yeah, it's tea, 15 grams versus 13 grams.
Yeah,
All right, this is a big one. A lot of people go for these naked juices. This is like up and coming. I want to get a naked juice. It's so good for me.
Is that how we my Starbucks?
Huh?
That actually almost looks like my drink I get at Starbucks. Except I don't put all that whipped cream and stuff on it.
It's a Frappuccino.
Yep.
The naked juice has 53 grams of sugar.
Okay.
Frappuccino has 52.
That's how you get it, though. That's the full.
So really, honestly, neither one of those are good choices.
Unless you make mine. You can go and order Debbie's drink on the Racetrack Road Starbucks, and it's got a third, not even, of whatever everything is on the menu.
Of the sugar?
Yeah, everything. I think
Well,
it's
you
just
can get
like-
the skinny. Those are the sugar-free.
Yes.
But when you're thinking about, let's say coffee in general,
Yeah.
when you're adding, everything you add to it, so say you don't put a natural sugar in it, what are you putting in?
Trivia. I put trivia.
Well, if you're putting Trivia, that's good, but
Yeah,
if you're putting in a chemical, if you're putting a Sweet and Low or Splenda or any of those other things, you're putting in a chemical into your coffee. Yes, it does make you taste better. Yes, I do. I have had it before, but it is a chemical. And so if something tastes sweet, you gotta watch it, especially those syrups that they put, the sugar-free syrups, those are made with chemicals. And yes, they're good. And if I ever go to Starbucks, that's what, I stopped with the Latte Factor. Been $5 a pop. Decided I was too broke. Okay, the next one. Cliff Bar versus Kit Kat.
I think that the butter is pretty high in sugar, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, Cliff Bar is 24 grams. Kit Kat is 21. So when you're eating that Cliff Bar and you're thinking, oh, I'm getting a protein, you know, like this is something, and mind you, it might be better overall quality food, you know, quality, dense food versus Kit Kat has nothing of value to you at all. All right, so the next one, Craisins versus cheesecake. Craisins are 29
Absolutely, it's crazy. Yeah.
and cheesecake is 21.
Yeah.
Now this one's going to make us all cry.
Oh, the yogurt.
I just been beating you up left and right today. I'll give you a treat.
Yogurt, but I heard you know what I'm saying, yogurt is like eating ice cream.
No.
That's
It's-
nonsense. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and you know, and there's so many different schools of thought on dairy. Me personally, me and dairy we are not friends, we do not get along. I almost eat nothing with dairy. The occasional ice cream, milkshake, something, and I am paying for it after that. Not really lactose intolerant, it just doesn't go well with the digestion for me. I don't like milk, I don't drink milk, it's just how I've learned to do it. Because those are some calories for me that I could give up. I didn't need to have those. And I got so much more protein from chicken, fish, lean meat, protein shake, instead of getting it from your milk. So yeah, 5 grams of sugar per Krispy Kreme glazed donut versus 21 grams in the cup. So terrible. I know, she's like, I quit, I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the Dr. Pepper versus lemonade. And again, these are the ones you think, and I, you know, like for my kids, they love that lemonade stuff. That is 67 grams of sugar in the lemonade bottle versus 64 in the Dr. Pepper.
And sodium too, right, the lemonade?
I believe so, yeah. I don't have that one on there, but yeah. And then the Peeps versus, everybody knows what Peeps are. They are just little balls of sugar marshmallows. They're so gross. Now, some people love them. My daughter loves them. They're nasty. And it's just, what this is showing us is the comparison of things that you wouldn't even think about. Like, you don't think about when you go out to a restaurant or when you buy salsa, that they put sugar in it. You think, why in the world do they put sugar in it? I never, when I make my salsa, I never put sugar in it. But they put sugar in it, it helps for a lot of different reasons, and it ignites that opiate response. So it makes you crave it. That's what sugar does to you. It makes you crave it, and that's why drinking diet is really not good for you. If for no other reason other than you just tricked your body into thinking it got something really sweet. And so now your body went, wait a minute, there's nothing here. No, I didn't. You lied. So it just went into overdrive for its cravings. So now, if you're not careful, you're not paying attention or watching for that, now you're just going to be on the hunt, looking for where can I get that sweet and salty, sweet and salty, sweet and salty. You have to be careful about the chemicals of the things that your body does to you. So for that Peep is 7 grams, and a cup of Prego spaghetti sauce is 10. But now if you make your own, it's different. But again, I'm telling you this because I don't like to cook, so I'm assuming that maybe you don't like to cook. So I'm here to help you out. All right, so the next one we have, my mom used to send me to school with those little cupcakes every day.
Yep, those
So a little look out the middle. But when I was in school, that thing was literally smaller than my palm. It was teeny tiny. The little cardboard it came in was bigger than that. Now that's not true. And this, I think, is Otis Spunkmeyer. So this says, this blueberry cupcake might as well be called a cupcake. That's a blueberry muffin. It's 40 grams of sugar, and the Hostess cupcake is 21. So the very last one, that's the Caribbean salad from Chili's. There must have been really dogging on Chili's today.
You just know they got a lot of stuff in their food.
Yeah. That salad, because it is made with mango and it has, I think, one other fruit on it, plus a salad dressing, is 68 grams of sugar. And that cupcake with that looks like cream cheese icing on top of that red velvet is only 45. Now, mind you, that's much bigger, but it's giving the purpose of this was to give you a visual, to look at what you might be thinking something is not. Oh, it's a salad. Of course it doesn't have sugar. But guaranteed, anything that's coming from a restaurant or fast food place is going to be, they're putting in a little bit of I'm going to come back and see me. I want you to come back. So it makes you like it, it makes you want it, it makes you crave it. So again, I think some of y'all were with me when we went on the commissary tour. You were with me, right? Yeah. And so you hear things all over about, oh, I gotta cut bananas out of my diet. I gotta cut fruit out of my diet. I gotta cut something else. Well, think about how easy that would be to cut out of your diet, especially if you don't eat it that much. Well, I don't want any orange carrot. I don't want any corn in my diet. But when you're worried about, you've got this pizza problem over here, or you have a soda problem, or you have, you run through McDonald's and get your breakfast in the morning every morning, and you shouldn't be worried about the bananas. The bananas are secondary right now. We need to worry about running through McDonald's. We need to worry about those kinds of things. So you literally will not overeat in bananas. You could eat them, I promise you probably wouldn't eat more than 2 or 3. And 2 or 3, you might 300 calories, but throughout the day, because you're not gonna sit at one setting and eat those. And they will help you to stave off some hunger. And those are the kind of things that you need to look at as far as if you're eating things that are processed, if you're eating things that are made for you instead of you making them. And I know that's hard for me to say because I hate to make my own food, but I do. Even though I hate it, I do make it. But those are the kind of things that you don't want to, don't let little things hang you up on, like not eating fruit. You don't want to eat a fruit cup. A fruit cup's packed in sugar. But have some fruit with you. Bring some fruit. My daughter has not recommending it at all. I don't like the way she's doing this, but she's 14. She has totally limited herself to what she's eating. I hate that it's working for her. That's unfortunate, but she's very, very thin. And she, until I said you're gonna start paying for these, she would eat a bag of grapes. That's what she would graze on all day. But when she wanted something sweet, that's what she ate, or still eats. But I mean, she's the whole Super Bowl thing, didn't touch any of that stuff, but she ate the rest of that $9 bag of grapes, and I know they're expensive, and it sucks that it's expensive, but those are the kind of things, so don't worry so much about fruit, or maybe you're eating too much fruit. It's highly unlikely that you're overeating fruit. If you need something, that's gonna be your better choice than to say, get your breakfast oatmeal thing from, or even a yogurt. So those kind of things, I mean, it's just, I'm gonna say that like 10 times. Paying attention to the big things. Like, and I don't even have to tell you, we didn't even have to do this test, and I bet you money you already knew it. You already know what's in your diet that's probably causing you hang-ups. The other thing to think about too is it could be something small and repetitive that you're doing that you're not even thinking about, like coffee. That's a big one. And sometimes the people that you drink coffee. And when you drink a cup of coffee, you don't think about what it is that you're drinking and what you're pouring. Are you measuring that creamer out when you pour it in there? Until the time that I did start measuring it, I liked my creamer white with a splash of brown. My coffee, my creamer, right, really, that's what I was drinking. I like the way that creamer tastes, and I was drinking fat-free. That's not a big deal, right? It is a big deal when 1 tablespoon is 25 calories. So what are you gonna do with that? I said, okay, I guess I don't like coffee. For me, I had to cut that out. But if it's something that you feel like you have to live, black coffee you can drink that all day long, but not the yummy stuff that goes in it. So if it's just a vehicle, because you would be embarrassed if you drank it out of the carton, that was always my excuse. I might have to relook at that. It could be things just that simple. It could be things, when I very first got into working out and teaching, and I had been working out for years before I hadn't started teaching. And so I was teaching class after class after class, and I would be like a crazy person, I'd teach 3 classes back to back to back. By that time, I was starving. So I'd go pick my kids up. While I picked my kids up, I was up by my mom's house. My mom was eating Doritos and a Dr. Pepper. I had passed on the Dr. Pepper, but I would put down about half a bag of Doritos every day. That's all I was doing, adding into that. Starving my body all morning, and then diving into headfirst into a bag of Doritos. It's, you think, oh, that's just one time. It's, 5 days a week, without fail. That can put some pounds on you. Things that you don't even realize, and as we get older, our metabolism starts to slow down, so we have to combat, we have to fight that. So anything that you think, I'm not a registered dietitian, that's not what I do, but I do know what works. And so now Nicole can tell you better about why it works, about why putting some things together aren't good. If you want to get into more of the scientific parts of it. But overall, I think your body doesn't want to hold on to this weight. It wants to let it go because it feels better. when it's letting it go, but it takes a little bit to sort of get into that. So if y'all have questions or things that you think that maybe I could help you with, or if you're wondering if you were scared to look it up on Google and didn't want to find out what it was, you could ask us, we might know. But Google will tell you just about anything you want to know. And Google can almost say anything you want it to say, but if you're ever curious, sometimes when I'm if I'm trying to be on it and be on point with my diet, and I'm going somewhere to a restaurant, I'll look up, before I go, look up the menu, then find out the thing that I know that I'll be able to eat, the calories I can eat. If it's something big and I know I'm gonna cut it in half, have them box it up and take it away from you so that you're not, it's just looking at you. It's like torture. So those are some things that you can do to help you. But a lot of times, if you're at work all day and, are there things that are around you? Like I was pregnant with my first baby and I used to work at Target. I was a manager at Target. And I went from teeny tiny and I thought, oh, I'm pregnant meant license to eat whatever I want. I've been depriving myself, so I'm going to have whatever. That's when I decided I would jump into Dr. Pepper and eat pizza, Taco Bell, and I was ginormous. I went from 120 to like 195 was the last time I saw the scale, and I was wearing my husband's biggest pair of what do you call those underpants? The long johns, because that's all that would fit on me, and I was miserable. It was so miserable. It hurt so bad. But one of the things that I would do when I was still working before I could put on bed rest, was my boss had in his office, he had like a Halloween bowl of candy. These were big candies, like they would just fit nicely in pockets. I would go in every day, or a couple times a day, and shove my pockets full, and I would eat it out on the floor. When you're mindlessly eating like that, you have no idea. But I was probably packing in 2,000 calories of just candy, not to mention what else I was eating. So if you can think of things that maybe in a situation, the first time after my second baby was born, and I did the Fit for Life, his diet thing on that. And one of the things I realized that I had a little habit of sitting at my computer and unwrapping Starburst candy. I had to stop sitting at my computer. I couldn't sit at my computer at that time of day. I had to break that habit that I was doing. So before I could get back and be able to sit there without that need of unwrapping, it's just I couldn't do it. So all of these things, everybody's got something. But think about your day. Think about what it is that you're doing. I had a friend that when she stopped smoking, she realized she couldn't drive the same way to work. Is it a driving thing? Are you passing something that calls your name when you...
Starbucks.
Yeah. And that is a real deal. That is something very, very real that you have to be mindful to. That it's yelling at you. It's screaming your name. Nobody else hears it, but it is screaming at you. And those are hard things to fight against. So when you look throughout your day and you pick something that or just be more aware. Like even now, be more aware of what it is you're doing and what you may not be paying attention to, but might be causing you issue. And don't be afraid to put it on your food journal. That's where we can help you if you want us to. I won't peruse through, if you don't want it, but if there's something that we can help, say maybe that's something that you may want to investigate. That journal is not at all to make you feel bad about yourself or make you feel guilty. It's for you to make you realize what it is that you're feeding your body. And that is the only thing that it's for. So other than that, do you have any questions? Anything I can help you with? Go ahead, don't be shy.